I don't think Angel likes Caitlyn for the attention, whether it's Caitlyn's fault or not, and I don't think Caitlyn likes getting hit in the head. So I think it's good. This is a real rivalry that is great for the sport because it also has what people have begged the NBA to have, some dislike. Everyone's too buddy-buddy in the NBA.
He just closed the investigation. He just destroyed it. Gosh, this is bad, 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 bad.
It wasn't just a foul, it was a statement. One hard shoulder check, no whistle, no remorse. And suddenly the WNBA wasn't just on SportsCenter, it was everywhere. Twitter, TikTok, Reddit. It wasn't Caitlyn Clark gets hit. It was this is the moment the WNBA snapped. But let's be real. That shove wasn't about a single play. That shove was about everything boiling over at once. Because what we're watching isn't just Chennedy Carter fouling Caitlyn Clark. It's 3 players, 3 fan bases, and 1 league on the edge of an identity crisis. Angel Reese throwing up the "you can't see me." Caitlyn Clark refusing to be rattled. Chennedy Carter walking off like she just did exactly what needed to be done. And the league? Sitting center court, trying to act like this isn't exactly what they've been pushing for. More eyes, more noise, more heat. Let's not forget, the WNBA wanted this attention, but they weren't ready for this kind of spotlight. Now the fandom is split in 3. You've got Clark fans calling it a cheap shot, Reese defenders yelling karma, and Carter stands saying she just did what everyone's been thinking. But here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. This isn't just a sports beef. This is a culture war dressed up in jerseys. Old versus new, flashy versus fundamental, trash talk versus tradition. The WNBA is changing fast, and not everyone's cool with the new energy. But this drama, it's not a glitch. It's the main event. Because whether you love Caitlyn or can't, Stander, one thing is clear. This league's future isn't going to be soft, quiet, or polite. And if you thought that foul was wild, wait till you see what happens when these 3 collide again. Because this isn't just basketball anymore. It's personal, and the war, it's just getting started. Let's get one thing straight. This was never just about basketball. The foul was the spark, but the fire's been building for years. Because Caitlyn Clark didn't just walk into the WNBA, she detonated it. Sold out arenas, national headlines, presidential shoutouts. And while the league's finally getting the attention it's begged for, not everyone's celebrating. Some players have been grinding in this league for years, barely a camera crew in sight. Now a rookie walks in and suddenly the spotlight's blinding. That doesn't just sting, it burns. And here's where the tension cuts deep. It's not just about fame. It's about who gets to be famous, who gets the benefit of the doubt, who gets fouled and causes an internet meltdown, versus who gets fouled and nobody even notices. Caitlyn's rise isn't just iconic, it's disruptive. She represents NIL money, mainstream buzz, and a college fan base that's bigger than most WNBA franchises. But to some vets, she also represents everything they've had to fight against: the disrespect, the low pay, the lack of coverage. So when Chennedy Carter bodied Caitlyn without hesitation, that wasn't just a frustration foul. That was a message to the league, to the media, and maybe even to us. People aren't ready to admit this, but let's be real. The WNBA isn't just growing, it's splitting. Old guard versus new era. Earned spotlight versus inherited fame. Respect versus resentment. And Caitlyn? She's caught in the crossfire. So yeah, that foul was loud. But the silence from the rest of the league? Even louder. And the question hanging in the air. Is the WNBA ready for a new face? If half the league wants to knock it off? Angel Reese didn't flinch. She didn't walk back her words. She didn't even say Caitlyn Clark's name. And that silence? It was screaming. Because when the media storm hit, when everyone was replaying the Chennedy Carter foul like it was the Zapruder film, Angel didn't fold. She doubled down. She stood by her teammate. No apologies, no sidesteps, just vibes and attitude. And if you've been paying attention, this wasn't random. This was Angel Reese. the self-declared Bayou Barbie, the unapologetic queen of taunts, lashes, and layered meaning. Since LSU, she's been the symbol of what happens when a confident Black woman refuses to dim her shine for anybody, especially not for America's latest golden girl. People hated her for the "you can't see me" taunt, called her classless, called her a villain. But let's be honest, Angel didn't choose the villain role. She was assigned it, because in this league, in this media ecosystem, confidence looks different depending on who's wearing the jersey. And now, she's in the W. She's still loud, still flashy, still unbothered. And every time she speaks, you can feel the energy shift. Her post-game comments after the Clark-Carter clash weren't just PR-safe quotes, they were chess moves. Calculated, icy, intentional, no name drops, no media baiting, just a smirk and a message. I ride for my squad, and I'm not here to make y'all comfortable. Angel's not here to play sidekick in the Caitlin Clark movie. She's writing her own script. And the plot? It's not about being liked, it's about being respected. You can boo her, meme her, hate her. But Angel Reese isn't fading into the background. She's stepping into the storm and bringing the thunder with her. Caitlin Clark didn't ask for this. She didn't beg to be the face of the WNBA. But here she is, front and center, whether she's ready or not. And the spotlight? It's blinding. Because ever since she stepped on that court, the cameras haven't left her alone. Every foul, every stare down, every bucket, it's all dissected like she's running for office, not a rookie finding her rhythm. The league loves her, the sponsors adore her, fans worship her, and for good reason. She's a walking highlight. Real, a college legend, and maybe the best pure shooter the W's ever seen step in this young. But here's the twist. The same spotlight that made her famous also made her a target. Every player in the league is testing her. Some are checking her off ball. Some are chirping in her ear. Some, like Chennedy Carter, are flat out bodying her. And through it all, Caitlin barely flinches. No flops. No techs. No poor me energy. That should be praised. But instead we get think pieces. Is Caitlin soft? Can she handle the W? Does she deserve the hype? Let's be clear, Caitlin Clark is not the problem. She's a young star trying to find her place in a league that's been overlooked for too long. And the irony? The league needs her, but it's also eating her alive. She didn't create the hype machine. She just became the engine. And now, every game feels like she's playing with a bullseye on her back, while the cameras keep rolling and the league quietly cashes in. So ask yourself, is Caitlin being protected? Or is she being set up to fail loudly for clicks? Angel. Reese didn't just walk into the WNBA. She stormed in, with lashes, locks, and legendary energy. She didn't ask for the spotlight either, but unlike most, she owns it. And let's be honest, some people hate that. Since day one, Angel's been called too loud, too emotional, too much. Why? Because she claps back? Because she stares you down after a block? Because she dares to be unapologetically visible in a league that's still figuring out how to handle bold Black women who don't shrink for TV optics? Remember the "you can't see me" moment? The world lost its mind. She got labeled the villain overnight. And that energy? It followed her right into the pros. Now every move she makes is under a microscope. If she flexes, it's called disrespect. If she celebrates, it's unsportsmanlike. Meanwhile, players in the same league have done worse and gotten branded as competitive. But here's the truth people don't want to admit. Angel Reese is competitive. She's gritty, she's marketable, and she moves culture in a way the WNBA hasn't seen in years. She's not just playing the game, she's reshaping it. And yet, every headline treats her like the problem instead of the moment. So let's flip the question. Is Angel the villain? Or is she just the truth too many people aren't ready for? Because when a confident Black female athlete shows up loud and proud, the world suddenly gets real uncomfortable. But guess what? Angel Reese isn't here to make you comfortable. She's here to win, and do it her way. And the WNBA? Better learn how to keep up. This isn't just a basketball beef anymore. It's a full-blown culture war. And your timeline? A battlefield. Clark fans are flooding the replies with "Protect our queen" tweets. Angel's army is clapping back with "If confidence scares you, say that." And Chennedy's crew? They're pulling up archives, dropping old clips like, "Y'all forgot she been like this." But here's the twist. This isn't just about a foul. It's about what that foul represents, because every comment section feels like a proxy war for something bigger. Race, gender, respectability, power. You've got folks yelling, "Just play the game," while others are like, "Why does swagger make you uncomfortable only when it looks like us?" Reddit threads are breaking down slow-mo replays like it's the Zapruder film. TikToks are psychoanalyzing post-game interviews like dissertations. And Twitter? Oh, Twitter is just straight chaos. One tweet goes viral. Caitlin Clark gets shoved. And y'all cry foul. Angel Reese gets hacked all season and nobody blinks. Another fires back. Y'all just mad Clark's the face and your favs can't handle it. That's wild, right? Because somehow a hard foul turned into a referendum on who gets to be celebrated in women's sports, who gets to be aggressive, who gets labeled emotional, who gets forgiven, who gets villainized. It's not just a foul, it's a Rorschach test. People see what they want to see. And behind every viral meme is a fan base trying to win the narrative. So yeah, it's messy. But it's also real. Because deep down, this internet war isn't about who got fouled. It's about who we're really rooting for when no one's watching. So now what? Caitlin Clark keeps pulling up from the logo. Angel Reese keeps bringing that unapologetic heat. And Chennedy Carter? Still walking into arenas like the smoke belongs to her. But beneath all the highlights and hot takes, something deeper is unraveling. The WNBA is finally in the spotlight, but the light is exposing everything. The tension, the double standards, the generational clash between how the game's been played and how it's being taken over now. Old school fans want respect, tradition, sportsmanship, but Gen Z, they want authenticity, swagger, and unfiltered emotion. They want to see themselves in the players, messy, fiery, and real. And here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. This league needed this moment. Not just for clicks, not just for controversy, but because it forced the world to watch. For the first time in forever, everyone's talking about the WNBA, but not just about who won. They're talking about who matters, who gets the spotlight, who gets protected, who gets erased. And maybe that's the revolution. Because this isn't the end of the drama. It's the beginning of a new WNBA era where silence doesn't sell and conflict creates culture. So buckle up. Because if this was just one foul, imagine what happens when the playoffs hit.